What's good, everybody? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode here of Fair Use. And today, our brother Kanye West has officially been humbled by the community that he was hating on. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to get in trouble by even saying nobody's name right now. I'm scared. Just joking. But anyways, he has released a statement. We're going to react to it to see if it's full of bull or if it's something that's actually decent. So let's get into the video.
Things that are happening. A lot of times when I would say, oh, I'm the richest black man, it would be a defense that I would use for the mental health conversation. To say, oh, you guys say I'm crazy, but look at this, I made money. But that is not godlike to be showing off. So if it's not godlike, then God will take that because it's all the church's money, right? So what's happening right now is I'm being humbled. Another thing that's happening is by me being burned to the flesh every single day, it's actually proving what I had to say. So when I went to the mediation, what I want to say is, like, black people are like, okay, Lex Friedman got you to apologize, Pierce Morgan got you to apologize to the Jews, but you never apologized to us about the George Floyd comment that made us feel bad. Now the thing is, okay, JFK, they got a lot of documentaries about how it happened. So we can argue about how it happened, which I like the fact that we can do that. But regardless, when I see that video as a black person, it hurts my feelings. And I know that police do attack. And
Bruh, listen, you talk too much, entirely too much. And you're trying to figure out the right words so you don't mess up again. But if you're going to apologize to the black community, just do it and get it over with. Because sometimes we can talk too much and get ourselves into big trouble. And when we do that, we make it even worse. That's why there's a saying, the road going to hell is paved with good intentions. And Kanye West may have good intentions, but he's a very dumb man sometimes.
And America is generally racist. And I understand that when we got to say Black Lives Matter, that the idea of it made us feel good together as a person, as a people, right? When let me say it so the soundbite is better for you guys. When the idea of Black Lives Matter came out, it made us come together as a people. Now afterwards, yes, there was some things where the money went. There were some things where it was used in order to push us to the Democratic vote. There were people behind it involved. That happened. But the general feeling, so when I said that and I questioned the death of George Floyd, it hurt my people. It hurt the black people. So I want to apologize to hurting them because right now God has shown me by what Adidas is doing and by what the media is doing, I know how it feels to have a knee on my neck now.
Now you know what it feels like to have a knee on your neck now? What Adidas is doing, the media is doing. All of a sudden now you want the black people to come out and support you. Bruh, you are full of shit. You did this to yourself. Adidas, and let me just say this. From what I've heard about Kanye, I don't know the guy personally or know anybody who knows him. From what I've read, he's always a very difficult person to work with. That's why he keeps, different lawyers. He keeps getting fired from different lawyers. Lawyers keep quitting, all of this stuff, right? Why? Because you create these problems and you're acting like what Adidas is doing something to you. No, bro, like you already knew what was up. Now a knee is on your neck. Now you know how it feels all of a sudden to have a knee on your neck. Yeah, see, when you was talking about George Floyd, nothing was going to happen to you. But when you talked about the wrong people, and now they have the power to enforce that. Black people didn't have the power to enforce that, but now, since you disrespected and those other groups of people have disowned you, now you want to come back to the only possible chance, which is the black community, to work with the people. And we got to stop doing that. We got to stop abusing the black community for, even though we have problems in our community, right? We have issues in the black world, so many. It's laughable how many issues we have, but it's the only community that you have. We have so many opportunities in the black world, especially in black America, that we don't want to alienate our own group just for the fact that we want to make somebody else look good. And then when we do it, we got to come back to our people because they're going to forgive us eventually, just so that we can have something, a place to go. When we would have been treating our people right in the first place, we would have got further with our own group.
So I thank you, God, for humbling me and letting me know how it really felt. Because how could the richest black man ever be humbled other than to be made to not be a billionaire in front of everyone off of one comment that actually, if you look at the definition of DEF CON, it means to get extra defense, which obviously I must have needed.
Yeah.
I must have needed that extra defense.
Are you worried you ruined your legacy, Kanye?
How?
Yeah, well,
stop.
I'm not worried. I'm just not worried, period. God is alive. God runs the world. You know, God even runs Hollywood. God is alive. And he's using me right now. He chose me for such a time like this to basically for the media to put their knee on my neck, for Adidas to put their knee on my neck. All I ever wanted at Adidas, I left Nike because Nike wouldn't give me a percentage for my shoes and I had the Red October. And my girlfriend at the time was pregnant and I needed to get some money. Because if I was the kid that just had the red shoes, I could have never been a black man wearing a red hat.
Right.
When the like Nike would have shut me down immediately, right?
Right.
But because Adidas was a German company, it gave me a little bit more room to be able to express myself and to actually have a political opinion as an American, that I wasn't forced into a political opinion because of the color of my skin. Now let's talk about the red hat. And let's talk about the similarities to the White Lives Matter t-shirt. The thing about the red hat that drove me to a point of exhaustion, which was misdiagnosed by I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor.
Ha! You learn now, huh?
And what hospital and what media it went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor that
after he said it anyway.
Diagnosed me of having a disorder that would have had me on medication right now. At a time like this, if I was on medication right now, then one pill could have been swapped out and it would be Michael Jackson and Prince all over again. But because I didn't take the misdiagnosis and I didn't take the medication, I'm able to speak to you guys clear of thought and transparently. Now let me talk about the red hat.
Kanye, bro, you need to stop doing interviews, man. You're going to mess around after you apologize and say something else more stupid and get canceled even more.
Wearing the MAGA hat, the way that Hollywood's political agenda attacked me and put me to a point of exhaustion was death by 1,000 cuts. Everyone would say something to me, from a driver to my ex-wife to Adidas. Everyone would say something. So when I wore that White Lives Matter, I said, I'm not going through this again. I'm not going. Hey, y'all gonna leave me alone about my t-shirt. Because what's the point of having influence and having money if people could come up and just pinch you?
That's true. Thought about that before, being in the industry. Let me just say this. If you're going to participate in anything in life, until you have ownership, real ownership, not the partnership like he had ownership, depending on how you act ownership, then you can't just say whatever you want to say and do whatever you want to do in life. That's how it works. Our people, as a group of blacks, we are still trying to develop the race to get to the next level. And right now, it's not the time, in my honest opinion, to be going back and forth with folks. I'm just gonna be real. Y'all might not disagree with it, but I believe that we need to worry about the other things that we need to have. How to get power like the other groups. And then once you have that, you can enforce your opinions on people. But right now, we don't have the infrastructure to do that. And a lot of times we waste our time going back in debates with folks, which you know that you don't have the power, and then you get punished, and all of a sudden you're apologizing. You shouldn't have said those things in the first place when you know that our group doesn't have the infrastructure to compete with other groups at this time. Maybe that could happen a few years down the line because we still got to open up the door for other people. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy Shay Duke Jackson. Another episode of Fair Use. I'm out.